B.S.ing with the Guys show. We are live and direct. I wanted to get on here, talk a little bit about these fucking narco boats that Trump is destroying. I'm not sure if you've seen a lot on that, but I'm sure you've seen some of the videos of them boats just getting annihilated.
Yeah, I've seen the memes, heard the bitching, so.
That's kind of what I was, getting at. I was sitting there thinking, before we got on about the, the bitching that I'm seeing, because I'm seeing both sides of it. Some people are celebrating it, some are bitching about it, but I don't know. It just had me thinking, like, I kind of get why they're bitching, sort of. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. I think we need to be destroying these damn boats if they're bringing in that kind of shit. But September 2nd is the one that they're really talking about right now. What Trump was calling a narco-terrorist were on board. 11 of them were killed. Now, the problem is there were 2 people still holding on to the boat after the first strike. And so they decided to unleash another strike, which did take them out after that. You know
Right.
what I mean? Now, people are bitching about that, calling it a war crime. That once the people were in the water hanging onto the boat, I guess that we were supposed to rescue them. I mean, I don't know, what the big argument would be. Now, of course, they were blaming Pete Hegseth, saying that he knew that there were survivors and he told them to just get rid of everybody. I want no survivors, annihilate them all. Wind up not being true. He didn't know anything about the survivors, but either way, they were taken out, which was the key mission in the beginning, is destroy the boats and everybody on them. But it just, some people's argument was that we shouldn't even be really getting into that. It's mainly because they're trying to claim that in the past there's been like fishermen killed on these strikes. Now, there's no evidence of that at all,
right,
except for the left saying it. But if that's a risk, should the U.S. be doing that?
Yeah, I mean, you think we can tell the difference between a fishing boat and a dope boat?
Well, supposedly the military can. Like with these drones, they'll see like the packages
Right.
Of the dope. So I'm with you. So I would think if they're taking out these strikes, they're pretty damn sure that that it's smugglers trying to bring that shit into the United States. Now the argument is, if they fuck around and there is people on board that aren't into the smuggling, if it happened to be fishermen or something, like, should we not even be doing this at all, just in case? Now, of course, Trump looks at it like it's basically a warning to the cartel that you try this shit and this is what could happen.
Yeah, right. And I mean, if you're on a dope boat, then I mean, whether you're trying to fish for tuna or not, probably don't be on that boat,
Yeah, I would think so. It's just like I said, another argument is that suspected drug carriers aren't necessarily combatants, so killing them without an arrest and a trial or warnings, that, it's not the right thing to do. It's like being a vigilante. And
yeah, I guess. I mean, they know what they're bringing in here, you know what I mean? They know it's killing people, they know. So they're not active like combatants shooting at the military, but they are, in the long run, harming American people, American lives. So
Sure. Well, I mean, we both seem to agree. Take them out.
Yeah.
Take them out. I mean, as long as you're for sure that's what it is, because it would suck if there's a fishing vessel out there and the guy's just out there trying to catch some damn shrimp or some shit. And the next thing you know, missiles are coming at his boat. But so, I mean, outside of that, and that's not even the main argument of the left. It's that, well, for one, just because Trump, and just because his administration is doing it, they're opposing it, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just arguments like there's no due process. And it's like, you're dealing with the cartel here. I mean, they're not on American soil. So it's like, fuck their due process.
Yeah.
If you're
at war, like, I mean, yeah, there's this and that about the Afghan war and the Iraq war, but regardless, like, they weren't out there, arresting people before shooting and bombing, and you know what I mean? Like, it's what happens. There's no there's no jail in the middle of the sea to bring them to.
Exactly. And with, the amount of that shit that's coming over the border, or was,
Yep.
until Trump, got a hold of it. But the fentanyl and all, I mean, it's basically mass murder, the way I see it. These drug runners that are bringing that shit into this country. So no other administration was doing shit to stop it. Nothing.
No, they tried the war on drugs, and that didn't fucking work. So
no, it didn't. And I mean, Trump, I think he was on the phone with Maduro the other day. The Venezuela dictator over there, basically letting him know what's going to happen if you don't get a hold of shit or step down or get the fuck, running the place the way that you're running it, because he knows he's a piece of shit, So he's threatening land strikes in Venezuela, drug cartels. So he's really trying to get a hold on this shit, because I think he's seen that opioid epidemic and the like I said, the fentanyl really that's coming in with the coke and the heroin and everything. I mean, it's a dangerous game that's being played right now.
It really is. So, and I mean, something's got to stop it, and like I said, jail and rehab apparently doesn't. So they're going to have to kill it at the source.
Yeah, which is get them. You see the boat, get them, I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy to watch, like, everything is an argument when it comes to the political stuff. It's just, nothing can just be like, yeah, this is what's best. We need to stop this shit from coming in. If it's the cartel running this shit and you can catch them before they get to us, destroy them. And then that becomes an issue. And a lot of it's issues with, with lying. Like I said, there were reports that there was possible innocent fishermen that were killed, but there was no evidence for that at all. It was just somebody saying it out in the media, and then all of a sudden that's what that side runs with.
They just picked up and they ran with it. Yeah.
Of course. But anyway, what's going on, Matt? We see you in them comments.
Sure enough. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to know what is true and isn't, because like you said, shit just gets kind of said and picked up and ran with as the truth. So I mean,
yeah. Well, when you see in numbers like, the opioid crisis that it kills, over 100,000 Americans annually, and a lot of that shit's, from stuff that's coming from over there, what I mean? We got to do something. Something's got to be done. And to me, this is the only thing that's going to work, because you're dealing with some savages. You're dealing with the cartel. They don't understand, peace talks, and if you don't stop, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. They don't understand that shit. You see how they operate. You know what I mean? You've seen the videos. You know how the cartel operates.
Oh, they're ruthless.
It's all about force.
I mean, as far as the drug boats out there, I don't for a second believe that they haven't seen the strikes on the drug boats and know what the risk is of taking a boat into these waters with drugs on them. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's just surprise hits.
Yeah.
You've seen it. You know what happens. So
right. And I think that was part of the message that, Trump was trying to get through to them, that this is what's going to happen. Yeah. This is it. I mean, here's the video. You can see it. Now, is it going to stop it? No. But if it slows it down, then it did something,
Yeah. I guess you'll never. I don't know if you'll ever stop it, but not trying isn't the right course of action. You know what I mean?
No, it's almost.
And I mean, I do agree with buddy in the comments, the Sir Roman. The pharmacy's the real drug dealers, and they're the ones that started all this shit. Yeah. If we didn't give them so much leeway, I don't know that we'd be in as big of a situation as we are now.
Yeah, that's another one.
But we're here.
I really wish could be addressed, but they've so much money the pharmaceutical companies put towards lobbying, getting people elected, and however else they're greasing these politicians' pockets, that it just seems like something we'll always be dealing with. I mean, they basically have immunity against, they develop these drugs, they throw them out there. There's, people dying from taking them or whatever side effects they have. They face no basically no legal consequences at all. Every now and then one of them's bad enough where they get sued, you know. So they get sued, they lose $1 billion, but they made 10 billion. So what's the big deal? But as far as anybody going to jail, you know, and I kind of get, like, in the beginning why that was started. It was to where they wouldn't fear trying to put out drugs that may help. Like, look, you know, we're going to do what we can to try to, you know, cure some diseases or some illnesses, but we might fuck some people up doing it. So we don't want to go to prison. So therefore nobody would do it. They'd be like, I'm not taking that chance. So that's what it was hidden behind, that we're going to go ahead and give you immunity, and that way it'll let you develop drugs, because we understand there may be some adverse effects to it. But they've taken that shit and they've run with it, you know what I mean, to where now they can throw anything on the market. So to me, they're damn near just as bad as the cartels, you know.
They really are, because I mean, I get, you know, having the immunity, like you just said, you know, so that they can experiment with different drugs and see what works. And not everything's going to work, and some shit's going to be fucked up. Like, it's just kind of the trial and error process. But when it comes down to the blatant lying, like the Oxycontin shit, right? You know, saying it's not addictive, knowing the whole time that it is, right, and basically, you know, paying doctors to prescribe it and shit like that, is when it comes down to, like, okay, well, somebody needs to go to prison, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, every now and then you'll see big lawsuits come through, but that doesn't affect these people.
Not at all. I mean, they've made so much fucking money.
Yeah, they might as well just sue the cartel. You know? That's what people would want Trump to do. Just take them to court, you know. They need their due process. But yeah, he's right too. Beer Gut Garage said it's legalized drug dealers, and that's all that is. I mean, you've seen it with the Sackler family, with the, you know, the Oxycontin, man. That shit that swept the fucking nation, and it's like they knew it. They knew everything that they were doing. They knew what they were putting on the market. They knew how it was hooking people, and they lied about it. You know,
yeah, and it's still like that today with a lot of drugs. Like, I've seen basically Adderall ads on Facebook and shit with all the telehealth visits that happen now. It's like, get an Adderall prescription for, you know, $150, no doctor's visit needed, you know, and you just basically see some doctor that's 6 states away over the, you know, over video, and this and this, and they're like, okay, I don't give a shit. Give me my money. Here's your prescription. You know what I mean? So it's all just legal drug dealing.
It's crazy how it's that simple. I remember I fucked around a while back, and I got my marijuana card, and I don't even really smoke, but I was like, fuck it, let me get it. You know, I'll try this shit, and you know, it ain't for me. I'm not the one that needs to be on weed, because I get too paranoid. But point is, it was as simple as, like you said, I got on a little video chat, and you could just say, well, my foot's been hurting me and it won't stop. All right, you're good. And that's marijuana. That's a little, I'm not trying to, you know, equate that as far as it's the same as these, you know, opiates and shit that they're putting out there. But like you said, it's that simple for some of these other, you know, drugs.
But that's how they're doing a lot of it right now. Like I said, I mean, when you can run ads for narcotics over the internet and just, you know, pay me $150 and I'll write you a prescription, you're good, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
I know. What's up, everybody? If you're tuning in, we appreciate it. We're just on here bullshitting for a little bit. If you hadn't hit that subscribe button, do it now. We appreciate it. But anyway, real question was, you know, is the U.S. military, are they justified in getting involved in, you know, these drug running boats before it gets to U.S. soil? You know, are they justified in destroying these things, was the question. So we just figured we'd jump on YouTube, get some of y'all's opinion on it. Myself, I say fuck them up, you know, as long as you know that's what it is. Now, the problem with that is there's always a screw up with these processes. So whether it's happened yet, it's probably going to happen where somebody innocent is going to get blown the fuck up. They're going to be, you know, shooting across that water, and a missile strike is going to hit them. So then it really opens up the conversation of, do we stop doing this shit, you know? Or should it be stopped before that happens, is what some people on the left are saying, you know? And I kind of get their argument. I mean, you don't want to see any innocent person die, but like, as you stated before, something had to happen. We got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess really just hopefully they do their due diligence and don't fuck up, get the right intel, do your thing, but
no, I just know
I guess
how
time will
the
tell,
history.
really.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know how the history of these strikes and all go with this country. They're gonna fuck somebody up that don't deserve it. I see it coming already. Now, maybe it's getting a little bit better with the drone, technology nowadays. It seems like the boats that they have blown up so far, it's all been drug running boats.
Right.
So they seem to be on the right track. But like I said, man, if you just go by history, there's going to be some shit with it eventually. And then it really amplifies the argument from the left that we shouldn't have been doing this from the beginning.
Right. Yeah, and there's really no I guess there's no way to really defend it at that point aside from, the drugs it has stopped, but then it's like, I mean, it cancels a lot of it out, but I would hope that they've got a little bit more intel going on than just blowing up every boat with a motor on it that's running through, and they're not just sitting at the port of Venezuela, just every time somebody walks to a boat, they're blowing it up. You know what I mean?
Well, and I said, I think what really got people was that one on September 2nd where the two guys were hanging off the side of it after the first strike. I think that's what really started these talks, about basically what are we doing? I mean, you technically, I guess they could have got the Coast Guard, get out there and pick up these guys and then do whatever you got to do with them through the legal system. But that's not what happened. And it was proven that they were moving dope. Like they did have dope on the boat. So it wasn't like they hit the wrong boat. They just didn't annihilate everybody with the first strike. So then it's like, okay, well, now is it the U.S. military's job to save these people that they just tried to destroy, or do you just finish them off?
Yeah.
And I guess the same people that are against the death penalty probably argue against that. So, I mean, to me, it's like if that was your goal and they were running drugs and they're part of the cartel, finish them off, All
right. So if I was on the drug boat, right, and they hit the boat and I survived, and if picking me up was not an option, right, I would rather another bomb come than y'all just leave me out there and drown, just floating in the middle of the dark ocean by myself.
Yeah, but
like, I think just send another one, man. Just bring it, please.
Yeah, I think picking them up probably was an option, but it wasn't in the military's eyes. They were like, "Fuck them, take them out." But like I said, I don't blame them. That was their mission, and they said they're not going to stop. And when I say they, I mean the administration. He's not stopping, so it doesn't matter. They and he went into that. As far as went into his presidency during the election cycle, he was big on that, stopping the drugs and the shit that this cartel is doing and coming across our border with that trash that they're bringing over here. And he ran on that, and he's doing it. I mean, he's doing it. Of course, not everybody's going to be happy with it, but it doesn't matter. He could find a way to cure childhood cancer, and they're going to bitch because he only did it for children and not adults too. I mean, whatever. They're going to find something. So I kind of, the only difference is with this argument that they're making, I kind of get it. If there's some innocent lives that get lost in the fray, then maybe you have an argument of saying we shouldn't be doing that. But as of right now, fuck them up, get them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, like I said, hopefully nothing extra crazy fucked up comes out, but time will tell,
No, we're gonna
see,
man.
For real says it's impossible for a small boat to reach the USA, at least 20 refuels. So where are they bringing the bundles of dope?
At least 20 refuels. Well, it depends on where they're. I guess he's talking about if they're coming from Venezuela.
Yep.
Oh. I don't even know if that's true. Let's find out. Let's fact check this. We fact checked everything.
There'll probably be a few refills, but
yeah. But I mean, apparently they were going somewhere. Let's see. Let's do a little research here. Let's see what they say here, because it's. Yes, a boat can. Well, I know that. It says it can physically make it. Well, I know that, but so all right. Well, where were they supposedly going then? You know what I mean? Let's dig into that.
That's what I was wondering. Like, where else are they? I guess Mexico.
Yeah, either way, I mean, I guess the whole point was it's leaving wherever it's leaving from, which, according to, this administration, it's Venezuela. Well, wherever it's going, it's making its way over the border because they know where they're going to sell this shit. They know where the customers are, and it's in the United States. Not saying that there, other countries don't have drug problems, but let's face it, if you want to move anything in bulk, it's come to the United States because
Americans
we'll buy
like
it.
dope.
Right. So
Americans
I think
like
that's
dope.
what it is. It's not so much about, they're going straight from one place to the United States. It's that this is where it's originating from, and it's making its way into our country. So
Little Terabyte said Tesla drug boat.
there you go.
I said,
there you go. That's Tesla drug boat. Yeah, you don't need fuel.
So instead of using the military, right?
Right.
We should get intel on when the boats are coming out, and we'll make a hurricane, right?
Aren't they doing that anyway?
Exactly.
They're controlling the weather.
We'll just make a hurricane. We'll steer it over there, and then our hands are clean.
I think I seen somebody is like worried that we were going to war with Venezuela, and I'm like, what? Like that's like we're going to war with Idaho. Like it's okay. I promise you, they don't want any of this.
No,
it's crazy.
Wasn't there some shit about declaring war on Venezuela a few months ago?
Well, I know Trump keeps talking that shit because it is this basically the cartel shit that's going on over there.
Yeah, I just saw the memes that like USA declares war on Venezuela, and it's not even major news in the USA.
Yep. That's what I mean. But I've seen people actually freaking out, oh my God, he's going to get us in a war with Venezuela. And I'm like, what?
I saw the same thing about the cartels, the cartels are going to fuck up the U.S. military.
That's what's going to happen. Maybe in their terrain, like where in their on their soil, they may have a fighting chance. I still think we'd go in there and just fucking annihilate them if we did it the right way. But I have seen that argument before that if you send ground troops in there, it could be a little more difficult. But I just don't think we fight wars like that anymore if we don't have to. I mean, everything is drones and, we're just going to blow the shit up. I mean, there's no point in sending ground troops in there when you can fly unmanned crafts over there and just annihilate shit. So I think that would be more how he planned on fighting these cartels if he was going to do it on their soil.
Yeah. The only thing I guess that really, back and forth on is it starts today. Right. And then 20 years from now, it'll, some investigative journalists will start investigating and find out that it was about fucking, Yankee Doodle hat feathers and the president had some bullshit that he needed with him, and none of it had to do with dope or stopping dope at all,
Oh, yeah. And typically that is, it's kind of like these wars when we're, fighting because we want oil. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I see what you're saying. Like you're waiting on it for like a decade from now, the real reason to come out why he's beefing with Venezuela.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I think it's just him trying to do what he said he was gonna do. And like I said, I think Trump is ego driven a lot. So it's like I said I was gonna do it, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I don't know what else, like Venezuela, like I just don't know any other reason he would be, targeting these boats and, everything like that. I just think he's trying to stand behind his words. And I'm not saying he's the most honorable man in the world, but I think, as I said, he's ego driven. So if that means doing good things every now and then because he said I was going to do it, I think that's just how Trump is. I mean, the last thing he wants is people, saying, well, you said you were going to do this and you didn't do it, because it just makes him look bad. And Trump's been about building that Trump brand since day one, way before he was into politics. It's all about building that brand of I'm the best. You know what I mean? If I say something, I'm going to do it. Everything I have is bigger, better than everybody's. And that's just kind of how Trump is. So I take the good with the bad with that. You know, if he does some good things out of egotistical reasons, well, so what? You know, let him do it.
Yeah, and I want to say, Pickle Juice, you've definitely been listening for longer than 2 minutes. Okay.
Why would he
So,
say?
he's been listening to these two for 2 minutes, and I'm getting dumber. He's been here longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah, give it 4 minutes, and you'll be fully retarded. So.
Little terabytes.
Oh, he's getting them. Get him, little terabyte. Pickle Juice. Oh, Pickle Juice is still with us. Make sure you sub, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he wants to come
don't
back.
tell. It's all right, Matt. Matt's got our back, but his cool,
hold him
man.
back.
Look,
Hold him back.
Yeah, we're used to it, Matt. They love us. They just don't know how to express it. It's okay. Just say you love us. It's that easy. But what is Nick talking about? Not sure why it's so hard for me to understand. Trump, we in New York have been dealing with him for a lot longer than the rest of the. You don't know any other reason, or you nuts? It's a shakedown. Might be. Could be. That's kind of what Justin was saying. It some shit may come out. But I think if in the meantime he's going to blow up some fucking narco boats instead of that shit coming over, to the United States, let's do it, because he's going to do it anyway. So we might as well get something good out of this. But what are they shaking down for? I guess Nikki. Give me that.
Yeah, what does Venezuela have? I know there was talks about something being over there, and I'm sure Google has the answers, but
fuck Google.
We'll ask the comments.
That's why we asking. Help us out. Holy shit. Let me help you guys out here. Imagine a Nigerian scammer. That's Trump. Stop it. But give me answer Justin's question. Like, what does he want from Venezuela? What do they have that's worth going over there and taking? They got money paid to them. Yeah, well, they do have a bunch of money. Maybe he wants a cut. Maybe that's what it is. He wants his cut. He's like, you're operating on my turf. I want my cut. Ain't no telling.
He's just like a mob boss.
Why not? He's from New York.
It's just extortion.
Yep.
And Trump's never called me to buy him gift cards. So
that is true. Get him gift cards.
That's how he's calling Venezuela.
Yeah.
Get the gift cards.
Let's see. I'm trying to see. Let me pull up my shit.
They grow bananas in Venezuela?
Who?
Dole Fruit Company.
Bro, this shit's probably so deep. You know what I mean? Like, you could probably find a million reasons, but I'm going to go with he's trying to stop drugs from coming in the country. It's easier, because people are going to have a ton of different reasons on what he's really doing. A lot of it's people that just aren't going to agree with anything Trump does. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be some reason behind it, instead of it's just trying to do something that might help the country. Now, people say, I'd be foolish to believe that no matter what politician is up there doing it. And I'm almost on that note a lot of times, that I don't believe they do much that's to benefit us. But, I mean, he is blowing drug boats out of the water. So that was a shipment of dope that didn't make it to us.
Let's
celebrate.
Is that the shit that washes up on Florida beaches?
I think it is.
It's just the kilos come washing up.
Yeah, from Cuba. Let's see. Now, did you see Odell Beckham Jr. talking about how hard it is to live off of, what was it, like $100 million or $200?
Yeah.
Yeah, $100 million in 5 years. I mean,
it's not enough to make generational wealth.
Yeah, and it's like, it can be if you decide not to buy. Yeah, I mean, easily. I mean, you get somebody, $100 million. Now, I get it, taxes. And it may not make you Elon wealthy, but you don't need sports cars and luxury cars and mansions and, all the other shit that these guys buy. I couldn't believe when I sat there and I was listening to him talking about that. And I'm like, that's not, it doesn't make no sense at all. I mean,
Zero.
We're supposed to feel bad for these people. I mean, I don't know. It was just a weird, and I get it. They're in their own little bubble now. They're millionaires, you know what I mean? Or were. So they probably I've never experienced that, you know, I guess I can say, but I just can't see how you squander that much fucking money and then, you know, justify it. Besides just saying I was stupid, you know, I was dumb, I was young, they gave me all this money. But the way he was doing it, it was like it's just not enough. You know, it's not enough to do that, you know, to you know, where my kids don't have to worry and their kids. And I just think if it's done right and invested right, it's more than enough.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. You can't blow, you know, 40% of it on a house and expect it all to last. And there's plenty of families that have come up with less than $100 million that their kids are wealthy and their grandkids are wealthy and, you know, just riding around, I guess, kind of daddy's money, like not wealthy to the point of, you know, they're wearing kilo gold bars as earrings, but, you know, they've got shit.
Yeah.
They all are living right, all right, on far less than $100 million. And it's crazy to think that you can't build generational wealth with $100 million.
I know, and I was thinking, you know, he was basically after taxes, this, that, and other. It was about 60 mil. You know,
no.
$60 million.
I guess he's right. Yeah,
Isn't enough to last a lifetime and, you know, create generational wealth. And I'm like, give me 60 million. Now, not at 23 years old. Don't give me 60 million. But give me that now, and I will show you how to create, you know, generational wealth until, you know, I guess until my kids get a hold of it and piss it away. But, you know, it'll be set up for that, believe me. So it was just a weird one. I was like, did he really say that? And so I had to click on it. And I'm thinking, damn, I would love to have 60 mil just to prove him wrong.
And I mean, if you set it up right, when you first get it, you can be stupid with your money, but your kids will still be set up by the time they're 25 or, you know, 30 years old. If you set it up in the right trusts and have it all like, look, my first bit of money is going to this. And then I'm terrible at managing money. So once I get mine, it's all going to be fucking gone. But that's put up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's, and look, maybe he was making some points after he was saying that made a little bit of sense. I didn't watch the entire video. I just kind of watched him break down, you know, why he thought it wasn't enough. And then I just stopped. But I'm thinking that there's nothing you can really explain to me to tell me why $60 million isn't enough to do what he's claiming it won't do. You know, now, like I said, if your aspiration is to be Elon wealthy, well, then no, 60 million is probably not going to get you there, you know, unless you're Elon minded. But that's not what he was talking about. You know, he was just saying, like you said, generational wealth where it can just continue on. I mean, I don't think you even need 60 million to accomplish that.
I wouldn't think so.
I'd like to try.
You know, live like Marshawn Lynch says he did. I don't know if he did or not. I haven't Googled him in a while, but, you know, he was talking about he never spent any of his NFL money, you know, until he retired. He was like, I don't touch it. I won't touch it. I don't want to be fucking broke.
That's what Gronkowski said, too, that he just lived off endorsements and, you know, shit like that, that he never did spend his NFL check.
Did Gronk say something smart?
Yeah. Yeah, he said he never had to. You know, he came into the league and it looked like, you know, if you see his family, you know, it looked like they weren't hurting for much anyway. So he wasn't like a kid that's coming from the ghetto that needed that. They had to get their mom out the hood. You know what I'm saying? You know the story, and you can't blame those guys. They give you, you know, $10 million, and then you got mom, brother, a couple cousins, your sister, your aunt. Well, they're all in the fucking hood, so you feel obligated to take care of these people, so you get them out. I don't think Gronk had to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, how's Jimmy Graham living? Is he broke yet? I know he came from a terrible upbringing.
Yeah,
according to his own story, you know.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything about old Jimmy Graham in a while, but. You know, I doubt it. I mean, he seemed fairly educated. I mean, he wasn't, you know, he didn't, I don't think his story was that he was from the ghetto, right? It was something to do with him. Wasn't he adopted or some shit?
I know it wasn't great. It wasn't a great situation to explain. Like, he just, you know.
Right. But I think it was different than having 10, 15, 20 people expecting you to take care of them now that you hit it. And a lot of times, like I said, these guys feel obligated because it's your family, and you see, and your goal is to get them out of those positions.
Well, yeah, but I guess I'm just saying, like, he came from, like, he didn't have anything growing up.
Right.
To the point of, like, I mean, if you come from a broke family, you come from a broke family, you know what I mean? There's no money to go around and everybody needs help. So
sure.
I'm sure he kind of came from that same little area. Maybe he didn't have as much to spread out, because if he was adopted, I'm sure he didn't have like close cousins and shit like that. But
well, I do know they say one of the first things you have to learn is how to say no.
When you gotta be like Marshall Mathers, dude.
Got to do it, bro. As soon as you come across that kind of wealth, you have to learn how to say no. Because I don't even have that kind of wealth, and I still get hit up. So I had to learn how to start saying no. I can imagine when you come across millions, you know what I mean? And that's when you're young, it's harder to say no. You want to take care of your boys, and like I said, your family. And which is fine, your immediate family, but the leeches come, man. But still, to have 60 mil and then for some reason to say that it's just not enough for you to for a lifetime, and
like you had an extra light bill, and like, oh shit, we're out of money now, this is too many light bills. Like, no,
you did something wrong, man.
Yeah, I'd like to know when the last time OBJ had to wait to pay his car note until he got a fucking check.
Well, if he did, that's a shame. Some of them have. Some of them have, man, because the way they talk about their pay scale, or not their pay scale, but their schedule works is, I think they can choose to either spread it out all year or they can just take it during the season. Well, a lot of them take it during the season and they're living that fucking life. You know what I mean? They get them big checks coming in. Well, then there's the off season hits, and they're like, oh fuck, and I'm probably mainly the ones that don't have big endorsement deals and shit. So once that, them football checks are gone, well, they've got months now without paychecks coming in. And you can imagine a huge portion of them have no financial control at all. They're young.
I'm sure.
They're young.
And they have nobody around them that knows finances, You come from no money, so nobody knows how to handle money, Yep, I guess the first thing you need to do is go get a financial advisor that's not going to bend you over the desk.
Boy, you ain't lying. I was listening to I know you said you didn't watch it, but Breaking Bad. I'm sure everybody listening right now has seen it. Well, the kid that played the son of Walter White, he said that he owed more in taxes than he made on the show. And the way that he got to that point is he was paying his financial person to, his accountant basically, and they were showing him checks that were going to the IRS, but this person was keeping the money instead of sending it to the IRS. So after all the fees and everything compounded, he wound up having to owe the IRS more money than he made. And I'm like, that's fucking, I would want to kill a motherfucker, dude.
I think Dane Cook's brother was doing the same thing, right? Yeah.
And I've heard that story multiple times by people that come across this kind of wealth, and they trust, somebody, whether it be a relative, like you said, a friend, or, so-and-so that knows somebody that'll take care of your money for you, and this person's just pocketing this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
telling you they're paying these.
You would have to find I want to say a rich financial advisor, but then they may be shady as shit too, like how they get rich, you know what I mean? But trusting somebody that doesn't have money with that kind of money freely is crazy, dude.
My cousin got it. He can handle it.
And then just never expect it to be stolen. Like, if you just expect it and you're kind of watching out from the side, like, okay, like, I know they have no money. I'm kind of expecting something to be missing. I'm just going to keep an eye out. Okay, whatever. You expect it to come. But to just, no, they would never. They'd never. Yeah. It's like, they would. They would. When you're out there struggling, trying to pay bills and
I know, and
doing this, and then you've got $2 million free sitting in front of you that nobody's taking account of. I mean,
yeah. So imagine that. Like you said, you've got if you're the person that's in charge of this person's money, and you've got just millions of dollars, basically at your fingertips, and you don't have shit. So it's you know how tempting that is to a lot of people. So I'm
Yeah.
with you. It's like you have to shop a little bit better for people that are going to do your accounting. Don't go to friends. Don't go to family. To me, you just got to get with a big firm. You know what I mean? Some kind of big firm that's got a reputation, and you know, people will be held accountable. But I remember, you know, like you were saying with Dane Cook, man, he said his brother took him for millions.
Yeah.
Millions. Sent his ass to prison and didn't even feel bad about it. And I don't blame him.
And the only reason he found out was because he was moving to Cali, and I think his brother didn't want to move or something like that. So he wound up having to get another financial advisor, and his brother was like, "What the fuck? Like, absolutely not." You know, I was getting pissed off. And when the new one went through the finances, he was like, this is not right."
Yeah, dude. I almost wish I had it like that, where somebody could steal millions from me and I don't notice. I'd almost be like, fuck it, just don't do it again.
Yeah, I'd like. If I was going to put that into a family member's hands as far as managing the money, I'd be like, look, you're on, you know, whatever I can afford payroll for the year. Like, you're not getting just financial advisor money. Like, I got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to steal my shit. Here you go.
Yeah, but it's never enough. That's the problem. You can pay somebody $30,000 a month, and you know, they're going to spend that. They're going to live like they're making $30,000 a month, and then they're going to want 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the problem, is it's never enough. You know, a thief's going to be a damn thief.
Matt said mason jar in a hole, dude.
Yeah, that well.
He said that way they'd just be digging their own hole.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. I'm going back up to comments. Let's get into some of these comments. Millionaires are super paranoid. Fuck, I'd be paranoid as hell. You know what I mean? That's why I always said, if you know, if you strike it big, I don't want anybody to know. I'm gone. A lot of people want to flaunt it. They want to show it off. Mainly when you're young, you know, you want to let people know, hey, I've got some value now. Fuck that. I ain't telling a soul. Y'all just gonna be like, damn, where'd Shane go? They're not streaming no more. That's how they're gonna know if I. No, but I've always said that, man. Let me come across a big ass load of money. Ain't nobody gonna know, because I mean, I don't blame them for being paranoid.
No, I don't.
What else? What else we got? Tim Walz is part of Somalians. Tim Walz is a piece of shit. We're gonna get into that tomorrow night. We got some Tim Walz shit going on.
Okay.
We'll be back at it tomorrow for sure. So I ain't gonna get into that too much. But let's see. Little Terabyte says he can honestly say he wouldn't take advantage of a billionaire's account. Well, when I become one, you're gonna be my accountant. So
yep. You just got yourself a job, buddy.
Not today. A job. Just
not today, but
quit your job now, because it's happening.
It's coming.
It's happening. Give me a couple weeks. You got it. Let's see. What else? What else going on in the comments? Back to somebody calling us retarded. Oh man. Let's see. We got 53% yes. Should the U.S. be destroying these fucking boats? Got a little poll going.
Okay.
So half the people are like, yeah, blow them bitches up. It probably goes right down the line of who you voted for.
Oh, 100%.
Which is crazy. I mean, and I think we all get caught up in it a little bit. I try not to. Sometimes I try to step back and say, okay, I know it's the Democrats or whoever, you know, discussing this issue and how they feel about it. So I don't want to just go ahead and just write it off just because of that. Now I get caught up in it a lot, like, oh, these motherfuckers. But then I'm like, okay, well, let me see if they're making any sense at all, you know. And sometimes they do. I mean, that's why I'm registered independent. You know, I don't like the cult shit where you just have to go along with what your side is saying. You know, I don't like that. And like I said, I'm guilty of it sometimes because I despise the far left so much that a lot of times, anytime I see one of these liberal Democrats talking, I'm already casting it as away as a lie. Oh, that's bullshit. And then I'm like, well, hold on, let me hear what they're saying, you know.
Yep.
That was kind of where my mind was with this cartel shit, because I started seeing both sides of the argument on it, that, you know, it just blowing people up and killing people without any kind of trial, without saying, hey, you know, we caught you doing this. You got your day in court to try to defend yourself. But, you know, at the same time, I also see that there is no reasoning with that type of person. You know what I mean? That group. When you start talking about these cartels and all, it's just not the normal.
That
you
and
can't
if
just
they
deal
were
with
in
them
America's
like you can.
territory, if they were in American waters, or if they made it to, you know, Corpus Christi, Texas, and then we just drop bombs on the beach out there, it'd be different.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's not like they're in Mexico and then, you know, you are you know, New Mexico and then you catch them and then all of a sudden you freaking annihilating a home because you know there's some drug dealers in it. That's just not how we do that here.
Right.
You know, but they're not on our soil. So apparently it's just a free for all out there, which, you know, I'd like to drive. I want to do one of the drone bombings, man. As long as I know it's a cartel boat, I want to drive one of them motherfuckers. Like, so what button do I press?
Fill one up with dummies.
Yeah. Oh man, you old retards. Yeah, that we are.
Yeah, I'm a young retard.
It's been the word of the night. Might change it. B.S.ing with
Trump
the retards.
started a trend, dude.
Oh, that was something, man. You know, people were up in arms, but like I said, only because Trump said it. Had that been, you know, AOC calling Trump retarded, they'd have been applauding that shit.
No, they'd have loved it.
You know, oh, it would have been, and it would have been hilarious.
They'd have been selling retard shirts today.
Yes, they would. It'd be the #1 seller on Amazon. I think anytime you hear them politicians talk like that, it's hilarious. I don't care who's saying it. Just because we're not used to it. You know, we're used to us talking like that. When you hear one of them, it's like, oh shit, did you hear that?
Yeah, it's got a different shock value. Like,
yeah, it's funny. So my first son will be named Cartel. His pronouns will keep him out the water.
Yeah.
They're coming after him. I do got me some retardation. Yeah, I think we all do, man. I think we all do. We're all a little special. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Fucking Tylenol. God.
Tylenol? What are we talking about?
Just everybody being retarded.
Oh, is that what? I forgot about that. I forgot that's what was causing it. Damn. Yeah, I forget about that. But Tylenol did come out and say that's not true. So, who you want to go with?
Sure they did. Sounds like a drop the lawsuit, guys. You know?
Yeah.
There's nothing to see here.
Yeah. Oh, they got some news going on, but I don't want to get into a lot of. We're gonna get into you know, a lot of the stories tomorrow. We're normally not streaming on Tuesday for anybody that's just tuning into us. It's normally a Wednesday night thing, but I was bored as shit, and I said, let's just go live. You know, you can never get called retarded too much. So it's like, let's go live and see how long it takes.
It didn't take long. It didn't take long.
So anyway, we have solved the issue then. Looks like it's you know, questions been answered. Blow up the boats. So, you know, I think that's what the conclusion we've come to tonight. Fuck your due process. Stop transporting dope to the United States. And you'll be okay.
Weren't we just having this conversation the other day?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. King James. What's up, King James? Welcome back. Where did curse words come from? How can a word be bad? That's my question. Exact point. It's funny you bring that up because, him and I were just talking about this the other day when we weren't on air. It's just such a weird thing that I don't know exactly how it got started, but I guess people just picked words that showed disgust or you know, whatever, and I don't know. It's weird, man. It's a very weird thing. It's making sounds with your mouth, and then you're told not to say these things.
Well, weren't they all just like fucking each other back in Germany or some shit back in the day?
I think so. Yeah.
Or like fucking each other in the
didn't we look
and fucking each other in the eye and shit like that?
Yeah, because it got us on the conversation of where the word fuck originated from. You know, I mean, of course, we know what everybody uses it for now, but I was like, well, let's look it up. And I did. Crazy, you know, one of the dumb conversations we had, but I did look it up. So let me see. Let's look it up because I don't remember exactly, but we're going to learn where the word fuck originated from. So where did the word, y'all got to excuse me. I type like a fucking, I'm a pecker. I don't, I was never a secretary, so my skills are shit. All right. And then Type slow as fucking still. Okay, it's not nearly dramatic as the internet myths. Oh, well, come on now. Okay. In English, very close cousin in grammatic language, blah, blah, blah. Come on, get to the point. Root language. I don't want to know all that. Just tell me why. 1500 was already considered extremely vulgar in English. So, but why? Why? Oh, that's what it is. It's a very old Germanic word that originally meant to strike or thrust. So that's what we were talking about. Anybody messes with you, you tell them you're going to fuck them right in the eye, get out of my face. Because technically it means to strike or thrust, but we're going to use strike from now on. So
yes,
I forgot that's the conclusion we came to, that every time somebody was pissing you off, you're just going to tell them, dude, I will fuck you right in your fucking mouth if you don't get out my face. So that's where the word came from. Don't say you didn't learn shit by listening to us tonight.
Do you want to get fucked in this Walmart tonight? Keep it up.
Keep it up. Yep. Now you know. The more you know. So anyway, but what made certain words bad, I don't know, but it sure is a thing that we all grow up doing, and you know, we just all adhere to it for some reason. I mean,
yeah, it's always been nutty to me. Never understood.
I'm not as strict. I mean, I have younger kids, and it doesn't like I'm going into a fit of rage if one of them was to say shit. But at the same time, there is a time and place. You know, they don't need to be out in public just talking like that. And I still can't answer why, because it's just words. But it's just something you don't do, I guess. You know, it's respecting other people around you that don't want to hear that. But
I just don't get the difference between
I don't either.
shit
Dude, it's real.
And
it's odd. You know, people that are on here regularly know that usually Kristen, we have a young lady on here with us, and I've had people off air, you know, tell me in my private life that I can't believe you guys talk like that around her. And I'm like, it's fucking words, you know. She don't care. It's words, but I get scolded for that, you know, some of the shit that I say. And I mean, it's just weird. I don't know. It is an odd concept, but
it really is. Because like I said, there's no difference between shit and like the word elbow. Like nothing. There's nothing different. It's a word.
Yeah. I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of this, though. It's a whole nother podcast. But
I think we end this now. They're no longer bad.
No longer bad words. You heard it here first.
You want, whenever you want.
That's it. So let's see. Matt says, I don't hold my words at all. I find myself doing it in public, especially if there's, you know, older people around, you know, older women particularly. But it's weird because as much as I curse, it's if I hear it in public, it makes me take a sec. Like, did he just say fuck? He's in, you know, we're in fucking Walmart or something, you know? And it just always throws me off to hear somebody cursing in public, mainly because I don't do it. I just never really was running around the stores, you know, cursing and talking like that. But it's just so, like I said, embedded in us that it's bad, you know, that it makes me do a double take in public. And then I got to catch myself, like, who cares? Like, as much as I say that word, why am I looking at this person for saying it?
Right. And I can tell, like, just from customers that walk into my work, if you're going to hear cursing from somebody you don't know personally, it's typically going to be somebody younger, you know, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say under the 40-year-old range is kind of what I've noticed. Like, you can almost guarantee that they don't give a shit about the words.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's true. It's true. So it's kind of losing its, you know, edge, so to say. I mean, you give it another generation or so, and I think it's just going to be the total norm, you know, people just out in public, just, hey, what the fuck's up?
Well, Matt said, I don't go in public, fuck people.
Yep. Well, remember, from now on, anytime you want to punch, hit, kick somebody, the word to use is fuck, because technically that's what it means, to strike. So make sure you overuse it as much as you can from now on.
And then berate anybody that tries to, you know, tell you anything for it.
Yep. Just tell them, look, they're not educated. They start bitching you out. Just tell them to get an education and read a fucking book every now and then. What else? Oh, so we learned where fuck came from. I'm scrolling. Man, they got some news articles, but I'm resisting the urge to
You better
bring them up.
bookmark them.
I am. I bookmarked them. They're all bookmarked. I'm looking through my bookmarks right now, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Get into it too much because, like I said, we will be back on here tomorrow. And if we go through everything tonight, we're going to be just staring at the camera. So, so we're going to avoid that.
We were talking about, athletes going broke and whatnot, right? But
yes,
how does somebody like what made Jordan hit that legendary shoe deal, right? To where it's just like, I mean, nobody doesn't know Jordans.
Jordan, I know, and the not the bad, but the crazy part is a lot of younger people, they don't even know the man behind it. They just know the shoe as Jordan. They don't know what Jordan means. They don't know, they don't know any of that shit.
And there's been no other athlete to do that I'm aware of, right?
Not like that. I mean, they get their shoe deals. I'm sure the LeBron's shoes and, Kobe's and, they all have the shoe deals now. But, to do it like Jordan did it, I mean, fuck, dude, I was a teenager watching Jordan. And it's watching him play before any of the championships, and to think that his shoes are still, the number one selling, I would imagine, basketball type shoe out there still to this fucking day. Like, how do you pull that off? You know what I mean? Now, granted, he had to back it up. The dude was bad on the court. I mean, he was a bad motherfucker. So it wasn't like it was hype, that, I mean, when you really look back at what he did for the game of basketball. So there is, a lot of truth to the legend of Michael Jordan. I mean, he was a bad motherfucker. I mean, everybody kind of saw that, even the ones that didn't know much about it, the newer generations, when that Netflix documentary came out about the Chicago Bulls, which it turned out to be just a big, huge Michael Jordan documentary. But I think people really saw who he was and what people like myself watched back then. And it was just different. You know what I mean? It was different. And a lot of people compare like Kobe to that, but Kobe came after Jordan had already set that. You know what I mean? It's like, now you were gonna try to be as good as Michael Jordan. You may get there, but that's who you're chasing, is Michael Jordan, and that's how it's gonna be for years. He gets compared to everybody that comes into the league and starts doing good. But
he's always in the conversation. It's just wild to me that
the shoe,
he left a legacy and or I say left like he's dead, but he's got the legacy going, and just a legendary shoe deal that, I'm sure just started like any other athlete's shoe deal. But I can guarantee you the LeBrons aren't going to sell anywhere near what Jordan has in its lifetime, and the Kobe shoes, with you. And the Shaq shoes, and
I don't think the longevity will be there from another athlete.
And now you're talking about they're selling in numbers like that to people that have no clue about the game that he was playing when he was playing, so it's just they're buying the shoe because of the legacy of the shoe, not the person.
So I mean, I'll have an 8-year-old, daughter or something that'll, want Jordans for Christmas, and I'm like, what the fuck you know about Jordan? What do you don't even know who that is? Like, they don't like me. They don't even know that. They just think that's a word, like a type of shoe. They don't understand there's a person behind that. So from now on, every time a child asks me that, I'm gonna make them sit down and watch all the highlights from Michael Jordan before you get a shoe. That's it. Now you're about to learn.
King James said they think Nirvana is a brand.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, they start wearing all this retro shit, stuff that we grew up on, and they just think it's all brand names and not, people behind it. And that's how Jordan has become, which is amazing to be able to do that you've turned yourself into a brand. You know what I mean? That people don't even like, because I doubt Jordan gives a fuck. He's out there on his yacht. He don't give a fuck if you know who I am. Buy my shit.
Yeah, because I mean, even aside from the shoes, he's got, Jordan shirts and Jordan shorts and everything. Jordan this and that and Jordan everything, So,
bro,
I guess it's just luck that you fall in. I mean, aside from him being good, but as far as like,
no, I know what you mean, because
great, but
I think it had to be You know, they had a lot of stars had to align. You know,
Yeah.
because for one, it's like if you watch the documentary, which I don't think you did, but he wasn't even supposed to go with Nike. He didn't want Nike at all. He was a big Adidas fan, but his mother pushed him, like, basically, you're going to go talk to Nike. You're going to give them the respect to at least go talk to them and hear them out. And he did, and then the rest is history. But so, yeah, just for that right there had to align. He could have blew that off, or if he didn't have enough respect for his mother to listen to her, you know what I mean? So everything had to work out perfect because, like I said, he didn't want to even go talk to Nike, but because he had such a relationship with his mother like that, he respected what she said and he did what she, you know, told him to do. So just that right there, I mean, that little bit of twist to where him and his mother weren't that tight could have changed history. You know what I mean? When it comes to Jordan and everything that we know as Michael Jordan. So I'm with you. It's like, it's just such an odd phenomenon that I don't know if you'll see it again. I know Matt mentioned meaning Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was huge, but it's not the longevity. People aren't out there still getting Bo tennis shoes, you know, Bo Jackson tennis shoes. They don't even make them anymore.
I didn't know they ever did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. See, somebody your age, you don't even know. You probably don't even know who the fuck he is.
He's a baseball guy, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's one of the sports he played, but yeah.
Oh, did he play more than one?
Yeah, well, he's a football player, and that's where he got hurt. Yeah, he blew his hip out playing football, but he was
start with baseball.
He was baseball, football. He'd play them in the same fucking year, man. He was a hell of an athlete. But
didn't Derek Jeter do that? Wasn't he baseball, football? Was that two different? Oh,
Deion Sanders. They're almost the same person.
Almost.
Deion Sanders did it. Like I said, Bo was one of the first, and but he got chased down from behind on the football field and grabbed his leg and pulled his fucking hip out of socket, and he was never the same after that.
That the hip drop tackles that they talk about?
But yeah, I mean, that is, is what happened basically. I mean, it's, but he was just so strong, that he was pulling with so much force when that dude was on his leg that it just ripped it out. He's a bad motherfucker, but still, point of it being that it still ain't what Michael Jordan has become.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of these kids don't even know the first name that goes before Jordan. It's a shame.
Like Jordan, first name.
Oh, don't get me started on that, dude. I was like dangerously obsessed with the man when I was coming up. God, I was such a huge Jordan fan. It was one of the stations we could get down here. It was, for some reason, the Chicago station down here in Louisiana. It was Channel 9, and it was all Chicago sports. So a lot of people were Cubs fans down here, and of course you could catch the Bulls games. So it was just weird. I don't know why we got that station down here, but we always did coming up. So that was where I got introduced to him.
Yeah. What up, Skate?
Skate, what's up? Skating is a major sport to me. And you know what? I'm going to give it to you because I've tried in my adult years to get on some roller skates. Oh, my God. It ain't happening. And I thought, maybe my memory's fucked, but I thought when I was young I used to be able to do it. And then I tried to put a pair on at a kid's birthday party or some shit a few years back, and it was like, no, this shit ain't for me. Like, my feet just don't do it no more. So I got to give it to you, boy, out there skating. I see your videos, Skate. I see it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's impressive because I can't do that shit. But
no, audio says Jordan was huge in London.
Worldwide. That's what
everywhere.
Worldwide, which a lot of athletes are. I mean, a lot of American athletes are, but I guarantee you the shoe is still huge over there, and it's going to be. You know what I mean? It's going to be worldwide. I don't even know what it would take to stop that Jordan brand from doing what it's doing. I really don't know. You figure people would have grew out of it by now, that it would just been a trend and it's over with, like most things. But it just, and all they're doing a lot of times is releasing old shit. The retro shit. They call it retro, and then they sell another fucking million pairs of them.
Right, because at this point, I really don't know what could happen because, like we talked about a minute ago, Jordan really isn't even the face of it anymore. So even if he did some controversial shit,
it wouldn't matter.
A lot of the people that are still buying Jordans don't associate him with it, right? No. So, unless the whole Nike brand tanked.
They tried to get him once because supposedly they asked him some kind of political shit or why he didn't speak out against something that was going on politically, and his response was because Republicans buy shoes too, is the what he was rumored to say, and they tried to get him with that. And I know when he was playing, they tried to stick him with this gambling shit, that trying to say that he was a degenerate gambler and everything, this, that, and other, but nothing would really stick to him. And I'm with you. I think at this point, he could pull a O.J. Simpson and take out a couple people in his shoe, because most people don't even know
right
that he's even affiliated with it. I mean, his shoe would probably still take. It might even actually help the sales, but this crazy ass country. It's like, oh, he killed somebody? Fuck yeah, So, but no, it's a good point you made. That's a good point as far as, like you said, just the phenomenon of that Jordan brand has become. And like I said, my question is, when does it end, or does it? I mean, you
I don't
talk
think it
about
does, man,
marketing.
unless Nike tanks.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I don't even I think Jordan's its own brand now. Now I know it's still all tied in with all the rich people business stuff, but it's not Nike Jordan.
It's kind of like Dodge and Ram.
Right, exactly. It's become its own thing where it's the Jordan brand. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure Nike wasn't stupid enough to just let him go. I'm sure they're getting their cuts off of everything that sells, but I know it's not technically Nike Jordans no more.
Is Matt telling the truth?
Let's see. I don't know. You got to watch Matt. Like, in the middle of his career, his dad was murdered, and I think they tried to even say, that was part of it, that they thought his dad might have been killed over a gambling debt, which Jordan had more money than anybody needed. So it's not like he couldn't have paid off a debt. No, these idiots, I think, were just out to rob somebody, and I don't know if he was targeted because they knew he was Jordan's dad, but. They basically, I think his dad was broke down or something, or a flat or something, and they approached him on the highway, and they wound up, killing him or whatever. Either way, but they were trying to tie that into Jordan's gambling, issues, which was pretty shitty to do. I mean, your dad just got murdered, and they're sitting there blaming you.
Yeah. But... Do you think it's crazy that Damar Hamlin went back to playing football after he died on the field?
Yeah, bro. I love it a game. I love a money. I don't know which one it was, but I mean, if that shit would have happened to me on any profession, like, I just died and they brought me back. Let's go do it again. That is nuts, man, because I don't know what the doctors said. I don't know how much of a risk it is for that same type of injury now that he had it, whatever went on with him.
I think it was something genetic with his heart, and just it was, I don't know, like perfect shit lined up, and it stopped his heart in the middle of that play.
I know if you remember the play, it didn't even look like a hard hit. It was
the weirdest thing. Very hard at all.
No, it was just the right kind of hit, I guess. And like you said, with having something wrong with you anyway. So unless they fixed that problem, which I don't think they did, I just don't understand risking that shit, man. Like you said, unless you just love the game that much, or it's just that's how you make your living. You're just willing to risk that. But it's a crazy risk, man. I got to give it to him. I wouldn't have stepped foot back on that motherfucker.
No, I don't think I could have either. It'd be like, all right, well, we're gonna have to get some finances in order here, and make sure that I can live off of what I made. But and it maybe go get some kind of behind the scenes job with the NFL or something like that. But
yeah, because it's like it wasn't like it was just some freak kind of hit that you'll probably never take again in your career. You know what I mean? So you might think, well, it's probably not going to happen again. But the way that happened, it can happen on any play. That's the crazy part.
Any play, because it really, like you say, I feel like he hit the ground harder than he got hit. I mean, he fell harder than anything. And I mean, if you die out there playing, the money isn't going to do anything for you.
No, it ain't.
So it's like,
no, you're right. I'm with you. That's why, I mean, in my mind, it isn't worth it. I'll just go find a regular fucking job or something. But it's not worth dying for. But apparently, he thought different, man. So.
I did hear that somebody died in a preseason, something along the Hamlin lines happened in a preseason game this year.
No shit.
Yes, Matt said a preseason game this year that shit happened too. Wasn't televised like Hamlin, and I heard somebody got like, I don't know if it was life flighted out or it was a bad injury.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm trying to remember. as of December. I'm trying to. I was typing it up real quick to see. NFL preseason overview. The schedule included. I don't care.
Said it was a Falcons-Lions game.
Huh. Well, yeah, I kind of remember something about it, but not enough to really to speak on it. But it's kind of ringing a bell.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to see if there's anything. December, there were no on-field fatalities in the 2025 preseason. I don't know. It's not pulling much up for me.
Yeah. Montoya said, I've had a few motorcycle wrecks, but I still ride. So maybe he'd be back on the field. Yeah. But it's different, though, because you, for the most part, are in control, whereas with football, like when you're riding a motorcycle, you're not like guaranteed to get T-boned by a car, right?
Right.
When you're on the football field, you're almost guaranteed you're gonna take another hit.
It's 100% injury rate in the NFL. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hurt. So when that hurt could lead to your death because you have some kind of issue, it's like, okay, yeah, I don't want to do this. And we're not on here saying that's what he should have done is quit. No. The question was posed like, would we continue to play?
I mean, imagine, right, you ride motorcycles and tomorrow it pops up and you have a spell of fainting spells, you know what I mean? Like you just faint randomly for no apparent reason, right? Like maybe that wouldn't be the best time to hop back on a motorcycle if you knew that you just randomly passed the fuck out.
Maybe. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like if you know you got some kind of medical issue and you're risking that death, but some people would still do it, and to each their own. It's like you said with the Hamlin guy. I mean, I personally wouldn't have got back on the field just because playing football wouldn't be worth, me losing my life. I'll go find something else to do. But I guess it's what he had. He's probably, he's been doing it since he was a child, and I guess that was his life. So to just give it up is also hard. So, I mean, but a lot of respect, man, for somebody that can, face death in the face like that and then get right back up and go do that shit, man. That's like your boy from LSU, Delvin Breaux. He was a cornerback for the Saints for a few years, wound up in Canadian Football League and shit. And I don't even know if he's still playing, but he broke his neck in high school playing football. I mean, fucked his neck up, They didn't think he was going to walk. Well, he wound up, LSU gave him a scholarship, but he never played. You know what I mean? But he wound up making it to the pros. And I would see him. I talked to him a few times. You could see that big old scar down his fucking neck. And I always I never did ask him because I just didn't want to, approach that subject with him. But I always thought that about him. Like, I don't even know if I could risk that again after I mean, he broke multiple fucking vertebrae in his neck, was paralyzed for a while, fucked himself up, and then got back out there as soon as he could to play that game. And he's been fortunate. I mean, like I said, he had a little career in the NFL, wound up in the CFL, and made his little money and all, and never got hurt again like that. But goddamn, you talk about be on the back of your mind. You damn near lost the use of your fucking limbs playing this game.
Yeah.
And then to risk that shit again, you just got to have it's in your fucking blood. Like I have to do this.
Yeah, and again, kind of going back to it's not a small risk of injury either. Like it's a very high risk of injury in any kind of football, professional or not. Like it happens every day.
Yeah, and Matt's making a good point. Shit like that happens in the field construction. Yeah, we look at these sports players like they got a monopoly on injury, but I get it. There's a lot of workforce accidents, shit that happens every day to people, and they got to get back up and go right back at it, So I get it. I just think these sports players, I think it comes from a different, mindset of not so much of I have to go to work. It's that I have to play this game. It's what I do.
Yeah, I think it's also looked at different than a blue collar injury because it's looked at as like you're a professional athlete, so you don't have to go back, right? Like you've made money. I guess some of them haven't. If you're, bottom of the football team, but you're not making an ass ton of money, it's like you don't have to go back.
Yeah. And like
Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody like Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he doesn't need the money. I don't think.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to count his money. I don't know what his bank account looks like.
Guarantee
But I would assume
you it looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I would assume Aaron Rodgers has done, okay for himself to where he doesn't have to be out there playing.
Yeah, and he tears his ACL first play of the first game last year, and then as soon as he can get back on the field, he's back out there. Yeah. And it's like,
the kind of rehab you got to go through to get back on the football field after an injury like that, and to have that drive to even want to do that when it's not financially driven anymore.
Yeah.
So to get out of bed every morning and go to this fucking rehab and go through everything you have to go through to get back on the field is it's crazy what these athletes do, because especially the ones that have been in the game for a while and they've got money, because you know how it is, man. When the more money you have, the more comfortable you get. You just don't. A lot of people lose that drive, that fire, because you don't have to have it anymore.
Right.
And so I got to give it up to them, man. And ones that don't need it for the money. I mean, that's you see it a lot in the pros. They can't give it up. They just can't. It's just, and I guess that's what gets them to that level of being a pro in any of those major sports. Is if you gave up that quick, you'd have never made it. So I guess it's in them, you know what I mean? That's just a drive that they have. I mean,
you see it, I guess, I mean, because I get it, I guess a little bit more with the rookies and whatnot, like Scatterboo blew his knee out, and I mean, he's ready to get back on the field already, man. And he's still fucked up, he's having a great season. And
boy was tearing it up, and then boom, there comes that injury. Now, I was wondering, you think he'll be the same when he comes back?
That dude's
he's got that dog in him?
He's a fucking loony.
Because a lot of them, it's hard getting over that fear of an injury like that, especially when you're a running back and you fuck your knee up or something, or your ankle. Well, you're always a little bit more. I say always. A lot of them are a little more hesitant to make those kind of moves because you're always waiting on that injury again.
Nah, I think that dude's throw it off, dude.
He seems like it.
His mom was saying like she'd come outside and he's ramming himself into poles with a football helmet on and shit. Like he's thrown off. Yeah. Did you see Jackson Dart getting nailed?
Yeah.
Speaking of the Giants. Oh, he got smoked. And he said he's not changing the way he plays. He's like, I've taken the hits. I'll take them again. And that's how I play.
Bro, that was one of the hard. That motherfucker got leveled, dude. Oh, my God, dude. Look, that right there, I'd have been done. Like, fuck that. Somebody come in for me. Dude, that looked like it hurt so fucking bad, man.
And then they got to walk it off like it don't hurt, like Brady was talking about,
I'm telling you, and in no comparison is this as bad, but I was playing rec softball, men's league out here, and I'm coming around second base, and they got a dude about twice my size standing in the baseline, so I'm running. I'm thinking he's going to move. Well, he dips his fucking shoulder and plants it right in my fucking chest, dude, and it hurt so fucking bad. It made I was done. Like, fuck this. Like,
yeah.
Now I played it off. I got up and I'm dusting myself off, and I'm like, I can't breathe. Dude, my fucking chest plate was sore for fucking 3 weeks, and I'm thinking like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more. So to watch your boy get smoked like he did during that game, I'm Pele, dude. I'm like, how the fuck do you get up from that, dude? That was a collision, man.
Dude.
That was a collision, dude. Like I said, I know that shit hurts. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care who you are.
How big a man, that shit hurts. It's a car wreck,
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't even like, you see some in full speed that's like, oh shit, and they slow it down, It's like, no, that dude got fucking wow.
Yeah, I did see that. I happened to catch that highlight. I was like, God, you seen that kicker that decided to miss the whole fucking ball?
Yeah,
Chinese
was it
guy.
Cool? Yeah,
Cool.
Young Ho.
Something. Yeah. Which, if you watch the video, I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't want to get some copyright shit. But I did see it, and it at full speed, it's hard. Of course, you're judging it, but when they show the slow motion, you see the ball, kind of slip a little bit when the holder puts it on the ground. So I gave it to him. I was like, yeah, I can see that, because he sees that ball moving, and he just knows I'm not going to kick this right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I guess his instinct was to just try to stop and pull up. Now, a lot of people are saying he should have just fucking went through with it.
I think he should have drilled it.
but it was a split-second decision. He
Like,
sees
this
the
what you
ball
do,
moving.
dog.
Right. And in the heat of the moment, it was just like, oh, look, let me stop. It just
Nah,
looks
he
so
was like,
funny, man.
placeholder fucked up. He was like, you
Yeah.
getting hit, not me. So good luck.
He got blasted on X.
Cheers.
And like I said, I saw his the interview that they did with him, and I was like, well, that makes a little sense. I guess that makes a little sense.
I guess I'm not a kicker, but,
No.
That'd be the job I would take in the NFL if I could get one.
Yeah, fuck. I'd take anything. Kind of pay they get.
Everybody makes fun of Pat McAfee when he's on his show talking about football, and they're like, weren't you a fucking kicker? Shut up.
He was the one that made that position kind of cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just watching the shit he would do. He was having fun with it out there,
Yeah, he was doing like the drop kicks and shit.
Nailing people. Like if somebody thought they were going to run a kickback and he was anywhere in the vicinity, he was taking them out or at least trying his hardest because he's a big boy. You know what I mean? You see Pat McAfee, he's not a little bitty dude. And they got highlights of him laying out some people that, thinking they're about to go somewhere. So he made a little name for himself. But anyway, so he's probably making more money now. That little podcast, that show that he got than he ever did in NFL. That's why they all want to jump into it. But
what you think about the what the hell's his name? We just worked him out, the kicker. He was the Ravens kicker. Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker. He was pulling his dick out at the massage parlors.
Well, I mean, what else do you do there? I thought that's why people went.
Yeah.
They just busted some around here. A few minutes away from us. It was a couple of them Chinese girls or whatever that they arrested, and I'm thinking, who are they hurting, man? Leave them people alone.
Yeah, like they are providing a service, man.
Yeah, they want to give happy endings. Who gives a shit, man?
It's a legit service. It's safe, I mean, they're in there. They got
it's a victimless crime, man.
They're not doing it in public.
No, exactly. Can't even be in private. Now, it's crazy because you could say like, hey, I'm going to pick her up. We're going to go on a date. We'll go out to eat. We'll go back to my place. She gives me a hand job. That's totally fine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But if I go to her place in the massage parlor and, even if I bring her a bite to eat and then she gives you a hand job, it's illegal.
It's a problem.
And I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
So
I guess it's just because it's a, cash for the most part under the table type business. And the government's like, we ain't doing that.
So tax it.
That's what I'm thinking. Turn into a legal business.
Tax it.
I mean, they do it in certain places where they have them brothels, like in Vegas.
Nevada.
Man, look, exactly. Works out great. You can vet the people that are working there. You can vet your clients. You can, the girls are in-house. You're not taking them nowhere.
I'd imagine you get rid of a lot of the pimps and the sex trafficking,
Exactly. You cut that out. You don't need pimps no more. But they won't do it, man. They're strict on that as they are with this marijuana shit. They just refuse to budge on it federally,
They won't do it. But yeah, everybody was pissed off that we worked out Justin Tucker because apparently he got a
I forgot
10-game suspension.
We went on to massage parlors and
wasn't Bill Belichick doing the same shit? Nobody was mad at him.
No, nobody was mad at him. Robert Kraft.
Yeah.
That's the
yeah, they were mad at him, but I think he wasn't like paying like agreed to happy endings. He was just like getting a massage and pulling his dick out. So they like
probably can't do
filed.
That.
Yeah, they came out of the woodworks on him. He got in a little bit of trouble.
Do that. I know they.
He looks like a dick shower though.
Like a dick shower. And I want to say that Peyton Manning got in some shit for that after, in college. It came to light while he was a pro, but in college, supposedly, when he was sitting on the little trainer's table or whatever, and then the person was taping up his ankle or whatever the fuck they were doing, he would purposely like let his balls hang out of his shorts. And I don't guess she found that too funny. Back then she didn't say shit, but years into his career, it finally came out. So anyway, yeah, don't just go flashing people that don't want to be flashed. It's not cool.
I guess that's why Bill Belichick didn't get in as much trouble, huh?
Yeah, it's one thing if you're just,
it was
both parties are agreeing.
Adults consenting with a little bit of money, Yeah,
I try to figure out what's going on. He got that young girl he's with now, and it's so, I don't know. Just seems weird. But hey, I guess if you're an older guy and it's like, why not? I mean, as long as you go into it, to me, knowing that if you really think this woman is in love with you, besides the, any other fact besides you're Bill Belichick and you've got a shit ton of money, you're fooling yourself. So just, go with it, know what's going on, have a little fun, I guess, and do you.
Yeah,
Whatever.
did you see the interview where she like wouldn't let him answer certain questions and shit? Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I think they were justifying it by saying that they told the people ahead of time, we're here to talk about this, whatever football related shit they were talking about. We're not here. I don't want no personal questions. And
but ain't nobody even talking to you.
Well, right, but of course they can't help it but do it, these damn reporters, when they know ahead of time, I'm not here to talk about my personal life. So that was the only, I gave him a little bit of leeway on that, because if you go into an interview and you're like, look, I don't want to talk about my fucking relationship. I'm here to talk football. Ask me football questions. And then it's like, so I heard you're fucking a 23-year-old. And then it's like, whoa. Like, what?
Which I guess I get it, but it's like, we didn't fucking call you for an interview. We called him. Shut the fuck up, Well, let him tell us to fuck off if it's going to be anybody. Anybody trying to talk to you.
That shit. She was on that. Maybe he likes that. Maybe he wants to be told what to do. Belichick's so used to just being in charge all the time and being Coach Belichick. Maybe he likes that, having somebody that can just, tell him to sit down, shut up, and do what I tell you.
She probably ties him up and stomps on his nuts and shit. One of them weirdos.
Why not? She's getting paid good. So I'll stomp on his nuts. What kind of money she's got access to. Anyway. All right, let's wrap it up. We're going to be back here tomorrow night. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff for us.